So yesterday, my family had a exciting but rough day. So here's what happened. My daughter is pregnant and contractions started to get down to, 5 minutes. Around 8 a.m., she decides to go to the hospital, goes into labor, but there's complications. Now, we're in the age of COVID, so it was only her and her husband. And everything's being done by text and intermittent phone calls. So you can imagine the chaos that exists when your first daughter, your first grandbaby is kind of up in a balance. What's going on? We know that we're in modern times and it's not like it was 100 years ago, but still the faith factor becomes huge. As a believer, it puts you to the test. This is the Warrior Podcast, and we're going to talk about 3 secrets to living by faith. So, in this scenario, your faith gets put to the test. Your mind starts to play tricks on you. You start to ask yourself, what if questions? And these aren't good what if questions. See, our brains, our flesh is always looking to the negative. It's either looking to the negative when it comes to the things of God, or it's looking to the positive when it comes to the things of you. So in this particular situation, you get the what if questions that start to happen. And now you're forced to make a choice on what you're going to believe, what you're going to lean on, what you're going to hope in. Because we know it's not luck. There's factors beyond your control, sure, but it's definitely not chance, not luck. As a believer, you know that. So here are the 3 secrets to living by faith that I got taught yesterday, or retaught, or however you want to put it. Number 1, divine favor. See, we know that we have a God who loves us. Now, does that mean that he's going to deliver us from all hardships and traumas and scenarios of that sort? Not at all. If you look in John chapter 11, where Jesus raises Lazarus, ultimately, he qualifies it when he finds out Lazarus is sick. He qualifies the fact that he's going to wait 2 more days. The author of John says, Jesus loved Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. So he waited 2 more days. He loved them so much, he waited 2 more days. Why? So Lazarus would die. Now, God had a plan in that whole process, that he wasn't going to restore Lazarus from sickness, but from death, because the blessing that was going to come out of his death was much greater than the blessing that was going to come out of his sickness. So we have to understand that there's divine favor. Now, we don't always know what that favor looks like, but understand that is the truth, and that is what we lean on, is divine favor. Number 2 is destiny. We know that God has a plan and a purpose for all things, and that his ultimate good is in store. His ultimate understanding is what we lean on. We don't lean on our own. We can't, matter of fact. We're very short-sighted. We have no idea what's going on. We don't even know what's going on inside of our own hearts. How are we going to know what's going on in the rest of the world, circumstances? So we have to lean on destiny, what his plan is, what he's proposed, what he has in store. See, we can't put God under the microscope of our judgments, of our assessments. It's the other way around. So we yield to that. We lean on that. We trust in that. Even if we don't understand it, even when we don't on the surface agree with sometimes how things go down, ultimately living in faith, living by faith, is relying on who he is and what he says he's going to do. So we rely on divine favor, his character. When it comes to us, he says he loves us. He says that he'll never leave us or forsake us. He says that our ultimate good he has in store for us. Romans 8, a lot of that's in Romans 8. You can go study it yourself. And last but not least is determination. We have to be determined. We have to go before his presence in prayer, crying out, leaning on him, reminding him of his favor. Even though he doesn't need to be reminded, it's really to remind us of his divine favor His plan and purpose, his destiny for us, and then our determination to walk in that, live in that, and just be in that. So his divine favor, destiny, and your determination to walk in those truths and that reality is the three secrets to living in faith. So to understand what happened in that story, she went into the emergency room or into emergency C-section. They had to put her to sleep, and the baby was delivered, and they both came out on the other side healthy and happy and ready to start this new chapter of life together. So God be praised in that. But ultimately, it was a tough ride. We had to lean on the fact of who he is, what we know about him, and that ultimately his plan is supreme, and we're just along for the ride in loving faith. All right, God be with you. You are a warrior. As always, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll continue to put the content down. God be with you. Peace.